Hi, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name is Fred Wheeler and today I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, but more importantly I'm going to show off some Dungeons and Dragons miniatures. And I thought today we'd go with something that's part of the sea, something nautical, something elemental, something, that's right, let's go with elementals. Let's go with elemental creatures and beings. I have a number of them. It's taken, actually they're one of the hardest miniatures to actually collect because you never get them the right size, and the runs on these types of miniatures is usually quite short. Hence you wind up finding yourself sort of having to jump around all over the place trying to get them from different game systems just to get enough elementals, that's what I found anyway. So this is my first one. This is sort of like a vortex, a whirlwind vortex. I thought what I'd do is I'd put a little standard miniature at the bottom there so you can see roughly what it looks like. This is a Pathfinder miniature. It's not part of the Wizards of the Coast line, and I believe it has an odd name. I'll just turn it over so you can see. Oh, I don't know if you can read that. This is one of the things I prefer it when they actually print it. It says Thunderblast Cyclone. So that's an elemental that I've had for quite some time. I rather like it too. Another one that I have, and this one is got a printing on the bottom, it's the Large Air Elemental. Most elementals in Dungeons & Dragons 5e are large in size, and this one is. Give it a spin. He's trying to grab you. He's trying to grab. Don't let him grab you. There he is. And you can see some rocks on the bottom, two arms, a kind of wacky sort of cartoon face, but then I guess elementals aren't necessarily going to have defined features. Would it really make any sense? I'm not sure that it would. So there is my Large Air Elemental. Now for those of you who are wondering, do I have smaller elementals? Yes, I do, but they won't be making an appearance today. There's just too many of them. The next one is the Large Ice Elemental. This goes back a few years. This is sort of reminds me of, what's the movie that came out not so long ago that had an ice elemental in it? Sort of like a Snowball Man, that's what I was thinking. It's not Tangled, it's Frozen, that's right. And one of the main characters creates sort of like a Snowball Man. This particular miniature reminds me of that particular story and movie quite a lot. I'll just turn it so you can see the face just a little bit better. You can see there. There's his definition. Right, alright, let's move him off. Come here. Next, now I'm showing you most of the really large ones. This is the Large Water Elemental. Now most of these, apart from the ice one, they're all Pathfinder. I know what you're thinking, how is it they're all Pathfinder? Well, because Pathfinder makes really good miniatures. These are hardened plastic, so obviously a little more prone to being broken, but really cool molds and sculpts, and the right size for what you want. This one is the obviously showing you sort of the water whirling up, getting ready to slap down and throw you under the water, drown you, maybe drown you, possibly drown you, probably drown you. That's what I would imagine a water elemental would do. There we go. There is the Large Water Elemental. Okay, but we're not finished. There is more. I have this one is called the Elemental Wall. This is a very old miniature, and it's large size, but it doesn't look very large, as you can see. I had a whole bunch of these. I believe I had about 4 of them. I'm down to about 2 now, and this is part of the Wizards of the Coast miniature line before WizKids was involved, so it's very, very old. Been around a long, long time. And I've used this one to represent not just a brick wall coming to life, but also stones or earth or just a basic earth elemental. Just because it's actually pretty hard to get an earth elemental the right size. Okay, let's have some fire, shall we? This is the large fire elemental. I believe this is part of the Wizards of the Coast lines that were put out some years. This is quite an old miniature. Took me a long time to get this miniature. I shopped around for ages and ages trying to find one that was a large fire elemental. You can get the small ones, little things. That's not so hard, but actually to get one that's the right size, large size, and even so, not nearly as impressive as the Pathfinder miniatures that have been produced. Let's see. Not much of a face, but certainly he looks like he's got a teethy maw. And next is a large water elemental. This is produced by Wizards of the Coast. This is quite an old miniature. This was produced in their early run, and it essentially just looks like a big wave that's about to sort of crash down on top of you. But this is a water elemental, and you can see the sort of showing you the foam as it's breaking over the crest, which I thought was quite cool. And certainly, I wouldn't say it has the height, but it's certainly got the bulk, doesn't it, to represent being a water elemental. Got to be careful of those big waves when you go surfing. Surfers beware. If you see this, run away, get out of the water. Okay, next one is also a fire elemental. Also produced by Wizards of the Coast in about 2015. I'm not quite so fond of this one because I feel like it's just rough. The paint job feels rough and looks rough, and it kind of looks a little bit like a red, orangey, yellowy, grabby snake thing with sort of undefined features, and it looks less fire elemental like and just wacky, if you ask me. That's just my view. I mean, I could be wrong, but yeah, I just found it a little bit odd. And the face on this one sort of reminds me of like a ghost or some sort of horrifying visage trying to rear up. So those are my elemental creatures and beings and miniatures that I have had for a few years. I'm going to chuck them all up there just so you can see them. I don't know if I can necessarily squeeze every single thing in the same frame. I will try. The big ones we'll put at the back and the smaller ones at the front, and of course this thing's going to keep spinning around, so that'll make it really life really difficult here. Locked in place. Ha! I knew that lock would come in useful. There we go. Remember, tall ones at the back, small ones at the front, medium ones in the middle, and we might get everybody into the picture. Fire elemental, and another fire elemental. Oops, and oh, I've almost forgot. I have this thing. I don't even know why I bothered pulling it out. It's a large air elemental, but the problem is it's white. It's white, and it just looks like a great huge wiggly thing. Maybe it's an air elemental. Maybe if you changed it, the color, it could be a fire elemental. But as you can see, it's a little bit odd. So hence, I don't worry too much about giving it its own space, particularly against a completely white background, which is the tray, the turntable. So hopefully you found this entertaining, a good way of killing time if you had a bit of time free. If you did, please share and like the video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed and you want to see more of this sort of thing, because it's going to definitely happen. Also hit the bell button to be notified when I go live and when I publish new videos, which does happen. Thank you for everybody who watched this. By watching this live stream, you have in fact helped support me doing more videos. I have many more videos you can go and check out if you want. I don't do Patreon, but down in the description you'll find like affiliate links to the book depository and Amazon. You know the story. You buy stuff, I get a small commission, and that helps support me continuing to do videos on this channel, pay for some of the costs that are involved, and I do appreciate that. Thank you. Now, if you have any feedback in the live chat, this is the time to do it. Start chatting away. Give me some feedback. If you're not part of the live chat, then that's what the comments section is all about. You go down to the comments section and you give me your feedback. What is your favourite elemental creature, or what sort of elemental creature have you used in your own game of Dungeons and Dragons? Who knows? You let me know. Okay, and hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.